Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for such a positive feedback on my first video. And for the ones who are new, hi, my name is Apurva Vashisht. I am a CA final student from Delhi. Previously, I had uploaded a video covering SA 580, written representation for CA final students. And today we will be doing SA 570, going concern. It is going to be a quick short revision video covering all the important facts which you can utilize in that 1.5 days for revising this essay before the examination. So let's get started. First of all, we need to understand that why is there a requirement for this particular SA 570 going concern. We know that the main objective of the auditor is to express an opinion that whether the financial statements it is auditing has been prepared in all material respects in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Therefore, it becomes for the auditor first to gain an understanding that which is the financial reporting framework applicable to the entity that I am auditing. It could be either AS or Ind AS as the case may be. Now, both AS1 and Ind AS1 states that there are certain fundamental assumptions on the basis of which the accounting needs to be done. Do you remember those three fundamental assumptions? They are going concern, consistency, and accrual. So when we say that the financial statements have been prepared on going concern basis of accounting, it basically means that the entity will continue for a foreseeable future. Now, on the basis of the going concern assumption, accordingly the accounting will change in the financial statement. If I feel that the going concern assumption is holding right, then the assets and the liabilities shall be recorded at their historical values in the financial statements. However, if the management is having an intention to liquidate the entity, then the assets and the liabilities shall be shown at their realizable value. Therefore, it becomes extremely important for the auditor first to assess that whether this going concern assumption, if used for preparation of the financial statement, is correct or not. Then the auditor understands, okay, this is the requirement that I'm supposed to do, but what is exactly my responsibility? Am I supposed to do? Then SA 570 going concern comes into picture and states that auditor, don't worry, I will tell you how are you going to assess whether this going concern assumption is holding right or not. First of all, it states that let me remind you that the primary responsibility in the preparation of the financial statements is that of the management. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the management to assess the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. But auditor, what you are supposed to do here is that obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences and conclude that whether the management's use of going concern basis of accounting in the preparation of the financial statements is appropriate or not. And also to conclude on the basis of the audit evidences obtained that whether there is any material uncertainty existing about the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. Then the auditor states, I have understood what are my responsibilities in this particular essay, but how am I going to achieve those? Then SA 570 provides the procedures that required to be performed by the auditor. First of all, the auditor will need to perform the risk assessment procedures and the related activities as per the requirements of SA 315, that whether there are any events or conditions existing that may cast a significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. The auditor will inquire with the management regarding the following, that management, have you made an assessment of the going concern assumption for the entity? And if the management says yes, that we have done it, then it is going to inquire from the management that how the management assessed that appropriateness. Secondly, the period that was selected by the management, which it should be kept in mind should not be less than 12 months. And other factors that might have been considered by the management in doing the same. However, at the same time, SA 570 comes in and tells auditor that auditor, while doing all this, it's extremely important for you to remain alert and see during that your audit procedures if you find any events or conditions that cast a significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. Then the auditor states that I understand that there can be certain doubts, but give me an example of those events or conditions because of which I should be alert that I need to do certain additional procedures. So SA 570 provides an illustrative list. It's not an exhaustive list. It says that the events or conditions can be either financial, operating, or others. Under financial, there could be various things through which we can assess the entity's ability to continue, like its net current liability position should be checked. We should see if there are any negative operating cash flows. We should see the key financial ratios if they are adverse. The entity's inability to pay its creditors on the due dates. Then certain examples of operating conditions could be that the management's intention to actually liquidate the entity, or there was a loss of a key managerial person without replacing the same. There was a loss of a major market of the entity, or one of its major suppliers or franchisee or license, right? There are certain labor difficulties that the entity is facing, like the trade union has come together and it is protesting against the entity to work with it. Then there is shortage of the important supplies. There is emergence of highly successful competitor, right? And then there can be certain other conditions as well, like there is a non-compliance with the capital requirements or statutory requirements. There is any pending legal proceeding going on against the entity, and if it becomes successful, then the entity will be required to pay a certain claim which it will unable to pay. Or there could be change in law or regulatory requirements that can have an adverse impact on the entity. Or the auditor might even find that the entity is either uninsured or underinsured. In case where any catastrophe occurs, it is going to have a major devastating effect on the entity. So these are a few examples on the events or conditions that can cast a significant doubt over the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. So after doing all this, the auditor will accordingly respond. After gaining an understanding and inquiring with the management, the auditor finds two things. First, he may find that the period that was covered by the management while checking the appropriateness of the going concern was for a period of less than 12 months. In that case, the auditor is going to request the management to reassess its going concern assumption for a minimum period of at least 12 months. There can be two situations here, that the management agrees or management refuses. If the management agrees, then well and good. The auditor is accordingly going to again perform his audit procedures and reassess for that entire period. But if the management refuses, then the auditor will need to consider its effect on the audit and his audit report as well. Secondly, there could be a situation that while conducting all his audit procedures, the auditor identifies certain events or conditions that cast a significant doubt over the appropriateness of going concern basis of accounting. तो ऑडिटर एकदम से हल्ला करने लगा कि भाई मेरे को तो इवेंट या कंडीशन मिल गई है एग्जैक्टली जिसकी वजह से पक्का गोइंग कंसर्न बेसिस ऑफ अकाउंटिंग पे मैनेजमेंट ने बनाया फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग एंड मैं तो इमीडिएटली एडवर्स ओपिनियन दे दूंगी. But SA 570 comes in between and says that auditor, you don't have to jump upon the conclusion so fast. There is definitely an event or condition that is casting a doubt, but that does not mean that is definitely going to lead to liquidation of the company. So you are supposed to perform additional procedures to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences that material uncertainty definitely exists or not. So for this, the auditor will need to perform the following additional procedures. Actually, what it is trying to say here is you have to understand that every event or condition is just posing a doubt that the entity may or may not be able to continue in the future. But the entity here has assumed that it is able to continue and it has prepared its financial statements and going concern assumption. Now the auditor is going to have a discussion with the management to understand that, on what basis are you thinking that yes, you will be able to continue? I can see this certain problem that is going to have an adverse effect in the future. Then the management may explain to the auditor that, we have prepared certain future plans through which we are able to feel that we will be able to mitigate this risk. So accordingly, if the auditor is satisfied, he is going to consider that material uncertainty was existing, a significant doubt was existing, but there is no material uncertainty with respect to same. So for this, what are the additional procedures that the auditor will need to perform? I have prepared a mnemonic for it, that is AFORCE. AFORCE. A, first one is assessment. Now, in case where the management has not yet made an assessment of the going concern assumption, then the auditor is going to request the management to make the assessment. For FO, the auditor will consider whether there are any additional facts or other information that the auditor got aware of since the date the management had actually made that assessment. R is we're going to request the management to provide a written representation to us that what are its future action plans and the feasibility of those plans. C is cash flow, profits or other forecasts. In case where the management has made any forecast, then the auditor will need to evaluate the reliability of the underlying data and the adequacy of the assumptions that have been used in the preparation of those forecasts. And last, E is that the auditor is going to evaluate that whether the management's plans for the future are appropriate and whether it will be able to improve the situation or not, and the feasibility of those plans. Now, after doing all this, the auditor will need to conclude that whether on the basis of the audit evidences it has obtained, whether the going concern assumption used for the preparation of the financial statement is holding appropriate or not. There can be two situations here as well. The auditor concludes that the going concern basis used is inappropriate or appropriate. We're first going to cover the inappropriate position. When do we say it is inappropriate? Basically, the management has prepared the financial statements using the going concern basis of accounting, but the auditor concludes on the basis of the additional procedures performed above that there is definitely a material uncertainty existing and the management's use of going concern basis of accounting is absolutely inappropriate. So, which means that the financial statements have not been prepared in all material respects as per the applicable FRF, and therefore the auditor is going to provide an adverse opinion. The auditor will provide an adverse opinion. Secondly, there can be a situation where the auditor concludes that the going concern basis of assumption used is appropriate and there is no material uncertainty existing. In that case, the auditor is going to provide an unmodified opinion. However, if the auditor concludes that the going concern basis of accounting used by the management is appropriate, but there is a material uncertainty still existing, in that case, the auditor will need to see whether adequate disclosure regarding the same in the financial statements have been made or not. Now, in case adequate disclosures in the financial statements have been made, then the auditor is going to provide an unmodified opinion. Along with that, he is going to provide a separate section in his audit report by the heading Material Uncertainty Relating to Going Concern as per the requirements of SA 700. Right? He is going to provide this particular section where he is going to draw the attention of the users of the financial statements to the fact that there are certain events and conditions that are casting a significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern, but as an auditor, my opinion on the same is unmodified. Right? Secondly, there could be a situation where disclosures have not been provided by the management at all in the financial statements, or the disclosures have been provided but they are inappropriate. In that case, the auditor is going to provide a qualified or an adverse opinion as per the requirements of SA 705, and in his basis of qualified or adverse opinion paragraph, he's going to provide the reason and state the fact that there were certain events and conditions that I found that were having a significant impact and they were showing material uncertainty on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern, and the fact and the management has not made these disclosures in the financial statements, and therefore I am providing my above opinion on the same being qualified or adverse. So this is it about SA 570. You can find the notes of the same in the description box as a link, and if you like this video, like the content, please like this video and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more such informative videos, whether relating to CA Foundation, Inter and Final. And in case if you have any specific requirements from me to cover any specific essay, then please do comment down below and I would love to take your feedback into account and accordingly prepare the next video. So that's it for all. Thank you so much and bye-bye. Take care.